They should have never left this happen.
Something interesting. Here's a chart of every single teammate Giannis Antetokounmpo has
really gonna
played
have
with
a
in the
new
NBA.
headset,
That's
huh?
every player in
This one
every
is-
season
Yeah, I
for the
need a new
past
one.
10 years. And they're all plotted based on how good they were in terms of box plus minus and win shares. Now, over the years, Giannis has played with a lot of guys. OJ Mayo, Jabari Parker, he played with Jason Terry for 2 seasons.
He played with
kind of
Derrick's
a weird
cousin as well?
overlap. But his
Interesting.
best teammates have all
Good.
came in the last few seasons. Brooke Lopez, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. There's some good seasons in here by some good players, and Giannis has made the most of it. And then there's his new teammate, Damian Lillard, who will easily be the best player he's ever played with. The NBA's got a new super team, and right now, they're the favorites to win it all.
Damn, but imagine you turn into a disaster though.
Damian Lillard.
Damn, Damian Lillard and Giannis are the
Today's
same
video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Things are
With
about to get
football season upon us
spicy.
and basketball right around the corner, save yourself the time and way to the conference finals for the first time in 2 decades, just to get swept and never return. I've had to
Damn.
watch the player that we passed up on turn into an all-time great, while the guy we picked couldn't even stay on the court. I watched Brandon Roy blossom into a star and then retire literally 50 games later due to injuries.
What?
This is enough to make a
Damn,
man go
that's
insane.
sad.
And then, the chosen one, our loyal king, the one glimmer of hope in a bleak and desolate franchise, just packs up and leaves to the Bucks, and we get stuck with DeAndre Ayton, a guy we aren't even gonna keep, a rookie, and
They're
a
not gonna
7th
keep Ayton?
grader.
I feel
And
like
I'm
if
not
they
even
keep
sure
him,
where the
they
Bucks
might,
came from.
you know,
The
they
Blazers
might
and the
do-
Heat were stuck in one of
I
the
don't know, but they
weirdest,
should
most
build around
drawn-out
him.
stalemates for the
I'm
last
not-
3
I'm
months.
not
And
saying
out of
build around
nowhere, the
Scoot.
Bucks came and picked him
Scoot
up
gonna have a
for
good big
actually a
man.
reasonable price.
Because Ayton
And
don't
as
like
sad
to
as I
play
am to
with
see
fucking
Dame go, I'm
Phoenix
happy
in the
for the
first
guy.
place. He wanted to
Despite
quit a
everything
long
he's
time
given to the
ago, so-
Blazers, the organization never quite put him in a position to win. The man has been in the league for 11 seasons and has played with only 1 All-Star, and even that was nearly a decade ago. In fact, throughout his career, Dame has made 7 All-NBA teams, a feat only 46 players throughout the history of the NBA have accomplished. And out of these players, only 13 of them never won a championship in the NBA.
Damn.
And these 13 players, whether active
James Harden is in that list as well. Damn, I mean, Prime Harden was different, but so I can't really. Westbrook as well. Holy shit, that's what's up. Damn.
or retired are
Chris
all
Paul,
regarded
too.
in the same dismissive fashion. All-time greats who never won a ring. Only 4 of them are active today. Chris Paul, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Damian Lillard. And all 4 of them have reached the same point in their careers.
11 for
Don't be
Chris
the
Paul
guy
and
who had
9
a
for
stellar
Westbrook.
career with all the awards and achievements, but no championship to show for it.
Well, Westbrook
And
looks
after
like he
3
got
months
grills
of
on,
uncertainty, I think this is about the best case scenario not only for Lillard, but for Giannis and the Bucks. In fact, this trade was actually foreshadowed last season. During the 2023 All-Star Draft selection over every other All-Star reserve, Giannis picked Damian Lillard with his first pick. Back in 2022, Dame was asked who he would play with if he could choose any active player. His
Yeah.
answer was Giannis. Fast forward 18 months, and they both got their wish. So now that he's on the Bucks, and they both got a teammate that far exceeds anyone else they've ever played with, how good is this duo actually? We've
That is
seen
gonna be
countless pairs of
insane, bro.
superstars get
Woo!
hyped up with
No, I
grand
can't wait to watch the
expectations
NBA in a
just to
couple
fall
days,
short
bro.
and achieve essentially
In a
nothing
couple weeks,
together.
it's gonna
But
start.
if history has shown us anything, this duo is bound to do something great. In terms of box plus minus, there have only been 6 duos in the history of the NBA that were as good individually as Giannis and Dame are. And out of those 6 duos, 4 of them went on to win the NBA championship that season.
Damn, James Harden 9.9. Yeah, James Harden Rockets top boy was a beast. Oh me, he was a beast, bro. I can't even 8.9. Okay.
The only duos that didn't were Harden and
10.9 for
CP3 in
LeBron,
2018, who lost to the eventual champs in the conference finals, and Durant and Westbrook, who were 1 game away from making the finals. History has shown us that when 2 players of this caliber pair up, it usually results in a championship, or at worst, a game or 2 away from the finals. We are looking at potentially one of the best duos of the last few decades. Last season, Dame averaged 32 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. Now, those aren't just historically great numbers. That's a stat line that only Michael Jordan, James Harden, and Luka Doncic have ever achieved.
36 points per game?
Of the
Just
NBA.
it was a
Even crazier,
36
Dame did
now.
all
What
of
the
this
fuck?
on record high efficiency.
That's
And
wild.
last season,
36
Giannis put up
points per
31
game.
points, 11 rebounds, and
James
5 assists
Harden
per
was a
game.
fucking
stat line that
mushrooms,
hasn't been
bro.
achieved since Wilt Chamberlain did it nearly 60 years ago. We all know just how dominant Giannis is, but I think spending the last decade in the shadow of arguably the greatest point guard ever
their points
has
gonna
made Dame
reduce,
one of
though.
the most underrated
I
stars
don't think they're
in the
gonna be
league.
able to do
Both
30
of them
points every
are
game.
coming off of historically great seasons. We haven't seen a pair like this since KD joined Steph in the
But the
Warriors.
thing about Lillard
back in
is like he's not like
2017.
Harden, but
In
he's gonna
fact,
be
the
good
last
everywhere he
time
goes.
in modern
He's the point
NBA
guard after
history,
all.
2 volume scorers of this
Play the
caliber
same
paired
way,
up
cook the same way,
was
you know. Giannis
never.
gonna do his thing as
Over
well.
the last 50 years, there hasn't been a single duo that averaged at least 30 points per game and then played together in the following season. Not Kevin Durant and James Harden, not Curry and Durant, not LeBron and Wade, not even Kobe and Shaq.
Damn.
But it's not just how dominant Giannis and Dame are, it's the fact that their games perfectly complement one another. Individually, defenses are forced to scheme against Dame and Giannis in polar opposite ways. But together, there's not a team in the league who has the defensive personnel to cover the deep ball and the pick and roll and the low post. Just think. Every single attempt at creating a superstar tandem in recent years involves 2 players that usually have similar strengths and weaknesses. As good as Kyrie and Durant were,
Yeah, but
their
Giannis
games
and
didn't complement
Dame
one
is
another.
the opposite,
Kawhi and
bro.
PG are great
Giannis drive a lot
individually,
to the
but as
paint
a
and shoot
whole,
from
their
time
skill
to
sets
time,
are
right?
far too similar to
But
create
Dame
a
shoot a
real
lot
dynamic
and
offense.
drive from time
Most
to
of the
time.
time,
He's
just
really gonna
taking
be
turns on who's going to get the
Damn,
next
he's gonna be
possession.
tough.
Even LeBron and AD are 2 oversized forwards who tend to play away from the basket and dominate possessions one turn at a time. For the exact opposite reason, this is why I think the duo of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic works so well. 2 completely different but compatible playstyles. Aside from Murray, who isn't quite a superstar, and Jokic, the last time we saw a duo that was made up of 2 megastars with complementary skills and positions was 2 decades ago with Shaq and Kobe. Damian Lillard's demand to be traded wasn't some breach of loyalty. It was an attempt to regain control of his career and earn a real chance at winning like many others before him have done. How many all-time greats put their loyalty first and foremost and paid the price because of it? Guys like Reggie Miller, Dominique Wilkins, Patrick Ewing, generational talents whose careers get lost in the shuffle because they never climbed to the top of the mountain. They never overcame the final obstacle and won an NBA championship. It's almost like all the all-star selections and big performances and playoff wins become an afterthought or some sort of relegated achievement because the ultimate goal was never achieved. Is it better to stay with one organization with hopes that things will eventually work out, despite things never quite working out? Or after years of holding up your end of the deal, is it better to finally do what's best for you and put yourself in a position to win? Well, the answer lies with the players who did put themselves first. In the mid-2000s, Kevin Garnett's incredible talents were being flushed down the drain in Minnesota, and so he said enough is enough and went to Boston, a move that changed the course of his career and legacy. If Kevin Durant never left OKC, we may not know him as a 2-time champion and Finals MVP, but rather another generational talent who could never quite get it done. Even LeBron James, all made the decision to leave the franchise that drafted them for an organization that actually gave them a chance at winning a title. Because loyalty and fans and accolades aside, above all, every player wants to lift that trophy above their head and be crowned a champion. Something that was never gonna happen with Dame in Portland. So what do y'all think? Is this duo truly the favorites to win this year's title? Or are we getting ahead of ourselves like we've done countless times before in the past? Are Dame and Giannis a real match made for winning? Or is this team going to be just another failed attempt at combining talents in hopes that it yields something great?
I don't think it's gonna be
Let me
failed,
know your
bro.
thoughts in the comments below.
It's
And as
definitely gonna
always,
go to the finals.
Until next time.
I mean, I don't know. This year stacks, bro. I don't know. We'll see.